If you're a business owner or a corporate leader who constantly struggles with worry and anxiety, regardless of how much success you have, today's video is for you. And also, if you work with business owners who struggle with this, maybe you're a coach, consultant, therapist, this video is also for you. So I'm actually going to share with you a personal experience that I recently just had, and also a client experience of going through our signature breakthrough process and what we discovered the belief was and how we were able to shift out of it. So this is going to be able to help you identify the belief that you might have yourself and how you can shift out of it as well. So when we work with clients one-on-one, or even we teach people through our certification, the very first session we do and we teach is what's called our breakthrough session. So our breakthrough session is a specific set of questions designed in a very specific order to help people funnel down to the limiting belief or limiting decision that is creating the unwanted pattern in their life. Now, this is something that we use for relationship patterns, business patterns, and even in your health. And so one of the things that I see that a lot of people struggle with is they do affirmations, they read books, they get coaching, they get therapy, and they find that little changes or nothing changes at all. And the reason that is because they're working with their conscious mind. And the challenge is, if you're only working with your conscious mind, that's only about 5 to 10% of your brain power. The other 90 to 95% is your subconscious mind. So if you're getting advice or you're reading things consciously, but your subconscious beliefs are not in alignment, it creates a pattern, it creates a conflict, which holds people back from actually breaking through. And so I went through the breakthrough process, and again, it's a series of questions that we do while somebody's under hypnosis to speak to the subconscious mind so that we can work with the 95% that's actually going to make the shift. So I'm going through this process, and again, this is something you could do with clients one-on-one, or you can even do with yourself. It's something we also take our one-on-one clients through. And the pattern that was showing up for me is, regardless of how much success I've had, I've been doing hypnosis for 7 years, and every year we're just growing and getting better. Our team's getting better. Our impact is getting bigger. And no matter what, I constantly was feeling anxious all the time, constantly worried all the time. I mean, from the moment I wake up to the moment I was going to sleep, just constantly worrying. And so when I went through our breakthrough process, these specific set of questions, what I discovered is that I had a subconscious belief that if I didn't worry about my business wouldn't grow. All right. Matter of fact, hit the like button or comment down below if you've ever felt like that before. Like, I have to worry, I have to constantly be anxious in order for my business to grow. And this is something that's very common, and I'll share with you a client experience here in a second, that a lot of people have, they don't even realize. This is something I just recently had discovered myself. And one of the biggest things when releasing a belief or shifting a belief is sometimes there's subconscious resistance. So what does that mean? So when I went to let go of the belief and realize, you know what, I don't have to struggle, I don't have to worry, I don't have to be anxious, there was a little bit of resistance because I've been operating from this standpoint of worry for so long. So me shifting into, hey, I can actually be at peace and my business will still grow, was at first it was a big leap for me. And so self-reflecting, and this is another process that we teach our clients and take our clients through, is identifying. So that's identifying what the limiting belief is. That's the first step. And then we have to go into, where is this belief coming from, right? Is it a childhood belief? Is it a belief that we adopted from our parents genetically? And so for me, what I discovered after going through the release process is that, my mother had me when she was 15 years old. She's a teen mom. And as a mother, she believed that she had to constantly be worried about me as a child in order for me to grow, right? She had to constantly be anxious and always be thinking about me and worrying about me in order for me to grow up to be the child that she wanted me to be. And so because she had that belief during her pregnancy, that belief was then passed down epigenetically. And then I've been living essentially my whole life up until recently with this belief of having to have anxiety and worrying about my business. Now, one sign that this may be something that you're struggling with is you are constantly doing things and changing things. So here's what happens, right? If I have a belief that I have to be worried or I have to be anxious in order for my business to grow, guess what I'm going to do in my business? Well, I'm going to do actions and do things in my business that cause me anxiety. And although those actions may not actually be necessary, I will do them because I subconsciously believe that I have to be constantly worried. So it's almost like I'm creating the worry unconsciously because I feel like that's what's going to help me grow. Now, the biggest reframe I had was that, again, if I'm experiencing this belief that I have to be anxious in order for my company to grow, I'm doing a bunch of things that are going to cause anxiety, and a bunch of these things are not actually going to pan out and work in the end. So that's actually stunting my growth, right? Because if I'm constantly making decisions to make me worry, then I'm not making the proper decisions that are going to help the business grow while still remaining and feeling at peace. You know what's interesting about, for those of you who are in the coaching space or therapy, what you may discover is that often the things that we struggle with will have clients start showing up in our lives with those same exact beliefs. And the funny thing is, literally 1 week later, after me working through this on my own, I had a client show up with the very same exact belief that she had to be struggling, she had to worry, she had to be anxious in order for her business to grow. Now, I can tell you, this is maybe about a month ago or so from the time of making this video. In the past month, I've had more peace than I've ever had in my entire life from being in my hypnosis business and even previously in my insurance business. And guess what? We're still growing. And so if you are somebody who struggles with that same thing, where you're constantly worried about your business, you are growing, you are seeing results, and again, maybe you're a corporate leader, and despite, hitting the multiple six-figure salary and all that, you're still constantly worried about your team, you're constantly worried about your job, you may just have a belief subconsciously that's keeping you stuck. And again, if you're somebody who works with clients in that capacity and you find clients struggle with that as well, I'm here to tell you that you don't have to struggle with it and your clients no longer have to struggle with it. So listen, if this video resonates with you and you would like to experience the breakthrough process and figure out, hey, what beliefs may be holding me back, not only just the anxiety, but also what beliefs are holding you back from growing as a leader, from growing as a business owner, or you even work with clients one-on-one in a consulting fashion or coaching capacity or therapy, I'm going to put a link down in the description for you to book a free hypnosis assessment with my team members so we can help you identify what some of these blind spots may be, so we can help you figure out how do we let go of these things that are holding you back from growing so that you can take it to the next level. So if that's you, click the link down in the description and book your free assessment now.